Hey guys, what's up? We are back in this very familiar place because I am doing a 2-week update for you guys. So approximately 2 weeks ago, I had filmed a video titled I Destroyed My IKEA Cabinet, and man did I receive a bunch of engagement on that video. Yeah. Anyways, I just kind of wanted to hop on here to give you guys a quick update on what's been going on in my IKEA cabinet and what has improved and what hasn't improved. There really hasn't been a lot of odd improvements. I've actually had a whole lot of growth since I had filmed that video. So let's just get into it. Let's talk about it and let me show you the growth that's been going on in this IKEA cabinet. Alright, so I always struggle with how I want to film this video because ideally it would be nice if I actually had 2 cameras going. So one that kind of just films my face, another one that just actually films the plant itself. But I will do my best. We're going to start with this plant right over here. This is the Anthurium Black Crystallinum crossed with a Hoya Hu. Now this actually wasn't in this cabinet. This was in one of the exo tanks and it was struggling, so I figured let's just put in here, see what happens. And look at this. Do you see this? It is unfurling a new leaf right now and it actually looks pretty intense. But yeah, I feel like I need to almost repot this in about a month or so, just because when I had potted this seedling up, it was actually in a whole lot of tree fern fiber. And the thing with tree fern fiber I'm finding is if you don't have it like separated enough and have other amendments in there to kind of give it more airflow, you're gonna end up with some mold. That's what I've noticed. So yeah, this had some mold growing a little bit, but it's doing okay now. But the culprit is actually the tree fern fiber. So tree fern fiber is great for increasing humidity and holding on to moisture. But if you don't have a lot of like good airflow circulation going on, you're gonna have some mold build up, and that's just not ideal for your plants. It's just gonna be like a nightmare later on. But moving on, this one is my what are you? My Addisonii Aura. Now, I think when I had filmed this video, it had one good leaf, which was this one right here. And it did have a growth point, which was... Actually, no, I think this was just unfurling. So yeah, this is now a 1 leaf Aura. It's looking pretty good, to be honest with you. It's kind of leggy in my opinion, but that's normal only because if your light source is further away from the plant, your plant is going to become a little bit leggy because it's trying to reach the light source. So if I had actually moved this up closer to the light source, it'll probably be less leggy, but I mean, it is what it is. I'm not too upset about it. I'm just gonna let it do its thing. What else can I grab for you? Oh, this one right this one I feel like is probably the reason why I received a comment that like I had a lot of struggling plants and that I should give away my plants to somebody that, you know, will take care of it. And I don't know, like that kind of comment, it did bother me quite a bit, only because I feel like everyone prioritizes things in life differently. And I'm at that stage in my life where I'm not saying I don't care about plants, I'm just here for the ride because I've already like accumulated a bunch of plants and I've already given away or propagated enough of them. And you know, I do care about my plants. Do you know how expensive it was to bring these guys in and how expensive it is to continue to house them and keep them alive? So that kind of comment really rubs me the wrong way, because it also gives you like this stigma where, you know, God forbid you killed a plant for the first time, or your plant is struggling, and then immediately someone is writing you off as like a bad plant parent. And I don't think that's right, only because, I mean, I don't tell people how to raise their kids, their dogs, their plants. Like, that's just none of my business. And seeing only one or two struggling plant in this one confined place, comparing it to all of my other plants that are doing very well, it was kind of annoying. I will say that. But also I feel like that type of comment and energy, it just makes people discouraged from even wanting a plant or wanting to purchase that plant because they're too scared of killing it. Now there's obviously other reasons why, like, people may not want to purchase a plant because, you know, like financial constraint is one of them, where it's like, oh, I don't want to invest in that plant because, like, God forbid I kill it, it's like a waste of money. But it's also like, just, I don't know, it just rubbed me the wrong way. I didn't really appreciate that comment. And yeah, just be nice. Like, I didn't come onto YouTube to like to claim that like I'm an expert or anything like that. This is just me sharing my experience and what has worked for me and what hasn't worked for me, because ultimately at the end of the day, what I wanted my channel to be was a place where people can come and learn something new or just be entertained. You know, like, I'm not purposely trying to kill my plants or like, you know, make them struggle. I'm just showing you the good, the bad, and the really ugly. And yeah, sometimes you're gonna see some things that are really ugly, but I mean, I think that just goes to show how genuine and authentic I am. I don't know, if you don't appreciate things like that, then shit, I don't know why you're on my channel. But anyways, yeah, the Florida Beauty is what I was trying to get at. So this Florida Beauty was definitely struggling quite a bit, and as you can see, it's ooh, it needs to be supported. And see, this leaf was struggling, so I'm gonna just snap this off because no purpose. And there was some leaves that were questionable where I was like, oh no, do I like have thrips? But I don't know if I do, because I don't see any thrips. Like, I actually don't see any thrips on this plant. It has been treated multiple times. I think it's just, you know, it wasn't growing in the right conditions because it was squished in this IKEA cabinet and it just didn't get enough light. Overwatered at some point, probably still is. I'm not gonna lie, but since I had filmed that video, it's put off this one very pretty variegated leaf. Look at that. So I'm very pleased with this. And there was this leaf that had unfurled before it. This one does look kind of sickly, I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, I think what I'm gonna do is my next video is gonna be me propagating all of my Florida Beauties, just because I do have another one that's over there, and it's ginormous, but it's super leggy, and it's just, you know, struggling in the sense that it's putting off a leaf and dropping a leaf, and the leaves are just getting smaller and smaller. So I will film another video on that and show you guys like a really quick and easy way to propagate your plants and how to propagate Florida Beauties. It was super easy, like so easy. But anyways, I did try to air layer this plant, and I think my intention when I had done this was I was gonna clip it, but then life got busy. But I got these nice juicy aerial roots going on right here. So what I will do is start propagating that, in the sense that I'm gonna start air layering it and then show you guys how I will cut and go through that whole process in another video. So let's just put this down over here. Actually, now that I think about it, since it put off that leaf, it's starting to put off like another one. Like, I can see that one end, it looks a little bit pregnant. So I don't know, maybe it's gonna start to pick up, but I'm gonna get another leaf by the time I film that video. But anyways, moving on, I do have this one. I have some like dying leaves here that I need to take care of. Okay, this one is definitely overwatered. I need to dump some of this out. But this was my other Escalito, and It was super leggy. It was definitely not doing very well at all, but in 2 weeks, I hope you guys can see this. Do you see? Right there. There's a growth. It has a growth point. So something is happening. Oh, it has 2. Oh, there's like another one down over here. Right there. So things are happening. I don't know how many growth points it's gonna put out, because I do see 2 for sure have started to emerge. I see one that kind of looks like it wants to do something, but honestly I feel like it's just not going to be very sustainable, because once I find that when, how do I say this, when a plant starts to give off a lot of shoots, what can end up happening is, it's great, that's fantastic, it's thriving, but I feel like when a plant does that, it's using too much energy, so you're not going to get like those nice big leaves that we all want. It may just kind of like branch out quite a bit, and there's nothing wrong with branching, like I'm here for it. I really need to dump this water out, and then after I finish filming this video. What else can I grab for you guys? Let's grab this one. Okay, so this was my variegated Addisonii, and I'm actually quite impressed. This plant gave me a run for my money. What happened, actually this isn't even the original plant. This was a plant that I had purchased much later on, but if you guys recall, when I had first purchased my variegated Addisonii, I was super excited. I was paying in the 3 digits and I could not for the life of me save that plant. It was just driving me nuts. So when House of Monstera was having their closing sale, I was like, I need that, let's try. And I purposely got a plant that wasn't, you know, 50% variegated. I made sure that there was more green than variegation, and I don't know about you, but I feel like this is still giving like 50% variegation. It's almost leaning towards like this leaf right here terrifies me, because I feel like it's on its way to like, you know, 60% variegation. But what I want to say about this plant is that it still gave me a run for my money, because it was putting off, you know, like a fairly decent variegation on the leaves right here, and then it would put off like an all white leaf, and then it would just like continuously cycle. Or if it wasn't doing that and it was finally, you know, thriving, it would just melt. So you can see like down here, it's very bare, because I used to have leaves there and it was just not doing its thing, and finally it's thriving now. So that's pretty exciting in my opinion. And this is the newest leaf that it's given me. It's not very pretty, but I mean, it's also not melting and turning brown and crisping up like over here, so that is a win. Yeah, that's actually quite exciting. The things that you can do for your plants. I feel like, I don't know if that's a thrip or not. I'm retreating everything in here. I think I had a question. Yeah, someone had left a comment down below in the other video asking like, how do you treat thrips? There's a couple of ways that you can treat thrips. You can take it out, spray it down, clean it with some like very diluted soap, or you can use like this one powder. What is it called? I'll throw up a picture for you, but you can use this powder, and what you do is you sprinkle it on the plant and the soil, and the thrips would actually eat that, and because the particles are very sharp, it actually kills the thrips. And the other way is, let me grab it, one moment. So it's this product right here. I love this product. I actually have another container of this, because I feel like near the end of summer I tend to get more pests. I don't know what it is. I think it's just like the change in weather may actually weaken the immune system of my plants. I don't know why that's the case, but I have it in my head that whenever there's a crazy change in the temperature, like, I don't know, I find that I get more pests, mostly thrips, because I'm not introducing anything new. And I find that if your plants are healthy, they're not prone to getting pests. But if your plants look a little bit sickly, like in the sense that like maybe it's been overwatered, yeah, overwatered, or if it just, I don't know why else a plant would be sick. Anyways, I find that when your plant itself is looking kind of sickly, it's more prone to pests and it can't fight it off. So this is what I go for. I find that this is the most, what is the word that I'm looking for? Like all the other options that I've mentioned is great, but I feel like it takes time. Like I feel like it takes time and you kind of have to keep treating it. Whereas this, I just need to do it maybe twice. So it'll be 2 weeks of this. So I kind of like sprinkle a little bit on the soil, water it. And then if I still see some, you know, thrips or whatnot, then I will sprinkle some more on the soil as well. I'm just, success rate. The success rate when you're using this is way better than using the other options that I had mentioned. Also, after you treat your plants for the first time, I would actually recommend like spraying down your plants, like especially the foliage, because that way you can see if, you know, if what you're seeing is new or if it's old. Because then when the second week comes around, you can check your plants again to see if like, oh yeah, if it's not there, obviously it worked, but if more starts to pop up, then obviously you need to give another round of treatment. So that's just that's how I treat my thrip situation. All right, so I also have this obliqua. Now this one was also hanging out over there in regular normal room temperature. Oh yeah, I see it. You were just, ugh. Okay, so there is some active thrips going on right now, so I'm gonna give it a little sprinkle. But as you can see, this is my obliqua. I got this from Ecuagenera, and this plant, I swear to God, it would, what would it do? It would put off a leaf, die, put off a leaf, die. And I was like, I don't know what your problem is, but it's finally kind of put off 2 leaves that look pretty decent. This one right here, can you see? Maybe. I can't even see. Anyways, this little twiggy thing here, that's a leaf. That's a new leaf that's trying to emerge, and I can see at the very tip of it is a thrip that's just crawling. So that is probably not gonna make it. It just won't. So I'm gonna go ahead and just, while I'm here, I'm gonna just give it a sprinkle. And where's this one? Give you a little sprinkle. And how you should be doing this is when you sprinkle, you're supposed to also give it a little bit of water, which I do have. I actually had just watered my plants yesterday, so I'm a little bit scared to overwater is what I'm trying to say. But since a lot of my plants are kind of in semi-hydro, it can handle being overwatered versus other plants that are, you know, in soil. So I do try to keep like, I feel like I keep all my plants in like a semi-hydro state so that it can handle being overwatered just a little bit. All right, next is this Anthurium. What is this one called? Did I remove it? Not put it back? Well, that's silly. Okay. I feel like this one is my my Carla. because I'm pretty sure I was annoyed with it and wanted to chuck it, and it was just kind of starting to put off. Well, it wasn't putting anything off. It just looked like it was really struggling, and the leaves were just not okay. But anyways, it's been 2 weeks, and check her out. Look at this leaf. Isn't she so cute? I need to go back and see what it is and relabel it, but she's so cute. There's something about little leaves, little baby leaves. They make me so happy. Way more sustainable than anything else. All right, so what I did was I clipped back all the leaves. I repotted her, giving her 100% humidity in this little bag here. Now I need to rotate this. Actually, what I'll probably do is have more patience. That's what I need to do. Tuck that underneath, push this to the side. And the reason why I really like using bags like this when you're trying to get your anthuriums to put off a new leaf is because, what is it? When you're struggling with anthuriums and you start off with a little stump, you're better off to put it in a little baggie to give it 100% humidity. After 2 weeks, you'll get something that looks like this. You'll see growth, and then you can start acclimating it down. So the best way is to just kind of keep it half open and then just put it back. And then eventually, once it starts to put off another leaf, I'll open the bag even more. So every week I will just keep opening up the bag, and then eventually it'll just be in here just fine. What I am gonna do actually is hit it with some of this, because I am now officially paranoid that it may be infested with thrips, just because, you know, those little buggers can fly. Did you know that? They can fly. Not that I'm saying I see anything flying right now, but the fact that it can jump and infect my other plants, no, thank you. Especially not when I had just revived this thing from the brink of death. And also, when you keep your plants in 100% humidity like this, you don't have to water it. So after I had actually put this in the bag, I haven't watered it since. So it's been 2 weeks. I haven't even opened it. So this is the first time. My camera just kind of died there. This is the first time that I have actually watered my my little seedling. It's not even a seedling. It's just my little plantlet. So like I said, half, maybe not half, maybe 75% closed. All right, what's next? Oh, there's growth over here for this anthurium as well. Did I label this one? Oh, sorry. I don't know what that one is. This is my Carla. This is my Carla Blackie. I don't know, my Carla. My anthurium Carla. Let me go ahead and open this up for you. And again, same situation, in a bag, chopped off I can't speak. Chopped off all of its leaves, shoved it in this bag, watered it only one time, and I did like repot everything. So this is new soil, new amendments, everything, and look at it. Look at that. Do you see that? That's a new leaf. That's a new leaf that's emerging. This is dead. This is death. So let's just take that away. I don't like to keep anything that's rotting, that is in 100% humidity, next to something that's growing, because I don't want it to contaminate the new stuff. So that's the reason why I just like chipped it off. It's been removed. And I think what I was gonna do is actually peel back anything that looks kind of dead, but maybe I won't do that. I think what it actually needs is probably more air circulation. So again, I'm gonna sprinkle some of this, and I'm gonna leave this to be 25% open. I'm gonna give it some water as well because I haven't watered it since I repotted this. And all of my struggling, like, well, they were all struggling in here. All of my plantlets that are now sort of like putting off leaves and showing growth, they're actually really very close to the light. So I will show you in a moment just how close to the light source. Right. I like hardly watered this, like just now. I hardly watered it. But with that said, even though this bag is 25% open, I will have to check in on this a little bit more frequently just to ensure that it's still hydrated. Only because, like I said, this was watered only once 2 weeks ago, has been sitting in 100% humidity. It doesn't know anything else other than that, but because there's more airflow going into here now, and because it's close to the light, the soil may actually dry out a lot quicker. So I need to just check in on it to make sure that it's not struggling, because sometimes what I find is if my plantlets are in this type of situation, and if I don't check in on it and I don't ensure that the moisture of the soil is there, it'll actually just start to wither away and decline very quickly, and then you have to start from scratch. So it's better to check in on it more frequently. So for the ones that are in bags, I haven't opened it since 2 weeks ago, but obviously now for the next watering period, which would be 7 days from now, 6 days from now, I'll have to check to see how it's doing, because I don't want to go through this again. All right, and the last thing is this Platycerium. So this Platycerium has been, I wouldn't say that it's struggling, I wouldn't say that it's thriving, but it is here. It's still doing its thing, it's still kicking it. To be honest with you, I feel like what I need to do is probably bag it and give it 100% humidity, but I just don't want to go through that trouble. I really don't. So this Platycerium Willinki Celso Tatsuda needs to figure out what it wants to do, because I'm running out of patience with that. The next one that I can show you guys is my Dark Phoenix. Nothing new. This wasn't really struggling at all. This was probably the only one that was doing pretty okay. I don't think this had thrips, but I'm gonna treat it for thrips anyways, because I'm just not risking it. I feel like I'm falling in and out of love for big plants. I'm not gonna lie. I find that I have more excitement for little plantlets and little seedlings than I do for ginormous plants, and I think that's just because when the plants get bigger, it's way more stressful to find a home for it and to accommodate it. So I should probably upsize this bad boy in the next month or so, but probably not gonna do that. I think what I'm gonna do is maybe just cut back all the leaves, trim back a lot of the roots, and shove it back in this container, because I just can't house ginormous plants. I just can't. All right. I think there's been some updates, some growth on my Hoya, so I'm gonna go ahead and take you off this little stand and bring you in a little bit closer so you can see the new growth. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, so here is the situation for the IKEA cabinet. Now, there's the light source. So the what do you call it? The Addisonii was here. The Platycerium was residing here. So it was the variegated Addisonii and the obliqua, and also that little seedling that's put off a beautiful leaf for me. So you can see it's fairly close to the light source because it sits to be here. Very, very close. And I did turn down the intensity of the mother light so that it didn't burn any of the leaves. and everything else is starting to kind of push off new leaves. So let me see if I can find you a nice one. So right here is a new leaf that's emerging from my Russian Wilbur. Not as variegated and splashy when I had first received it, so this is what it should look like. Down over here. Look how splashy that was. And my theory is that the splash is determined by how close it is to the light source. So let's see if this guy right here becomes very splashy. But it's okay if it's not. I'm not mad at it. And this one was my Michelle. I think this was my Michelle. Yeah, very splashy when I received her. Not so splashy now, but she is putting off a lot of leaves. So I have this one and this one. There's one over here, but I think this one belongs to the Russian Graves. But yeah, this is how it should look. Actually, this isn't even that splashy. This is the original. This is what made me want it. So we'll see. Let's see how it turns out. And then I have this one over here that I can never remember, and it's super splashy. Look at this. The newest leaf, fairly splashy in my opinion. But yeah, this leaf is very interesting to me. Look at it. Very cute. So my plan for this IKEA cabinet is to actually have my vining plants just vine all over here. And I guess what I'll have to do is just take clippings so that it's more sustainable. Otherwise, it's going to just take over this whole thing. But I am going to figure out how to include another wire like this, so that way maybe I can transition it and it'll grow like up this way on the sides as well. And I think that'll look really cute. So that was a 2-week update from when I had filmed that video, and like I said, I'm actually really impressed to see just how much growth there has been since I had filmed that video. And yeah, so I think my next video is going to be for sure like a propagating situation, because there are some plants that definitely need to be cut back, and you know, it is wasteful to just like cut a plant and throw it away, but I mean, unfortunately that's just how life is. I mean, look at your garden. Well, if you don't have a garden, if you had a garden like I have a garden in my backyard, sometimes you just gotta prune the plants so that, you know, it forces the plant to reserve its energy and to put off growth for the next season. So yeah, that's all I have for today, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.